that and name it text file 1. If you want to make those changes again, you can you would name that rename that and make a new file and name it text2. This is very easy to manage when it has absolutely no content. But as the projects get bigger, you work in teams. You want a specific method to control the versions, which is very important as there could be bugs which have been resolved in version 2. There could be some other features which are added in version 2.5. So we need to go back to the history. We need to go back to a place where this content was not added. This is known as version control. So version control is important when it comes to software development to manage things to make our life convenient and very extremely easy. So GitHub helps us do this. So version control serves as a staging program for the code where it assigns a version to each work. So these are all softwares which we use for version control. So you can see a Git something named Git. So what is Git? It actually is a snapshotting tool. So if you have a bunch of code and you want to take a picture of that code, so you can use Git. It takes this picture. When you make changes and tell Git that I have made changes, it compares the two pictures, the previous one and the current one, and knows that what changes have been made. And accordingly, it tells us that that was version 1, this is version 1.1, or whatever when it comes to the particular individual case. So this was now what is Git and GitHub. So as I said, Git is a snapshotting tool, a version control tool, which helps you manage everything. And Git is a local based, it's local to your service. It could be on server, so it becomes distributed, but in general perspective, what we would refer to Git as which we use locally on our computers. So if you want to manage some software, you can just create a repo. I would show you the demo later. You can create a repo and tell Git what changes you are making to the repo. And once you have this Git locally, you just can upload it to GitHub. GitHub is a website which hosts Git. You can you can guess that from the name. So GitHub helps you manage this code. Now, I think that is a very basic intro, but that is enough for the first perspective. So let's move to the demo now. So this is my GitHub profile. What should I do now is these are repositories. So what are repositories are like project folders. Like here is everything related to my website. Here is everything related to a project I made for an hackathon named Guidance. So these are all my repositories. So let me just uh, select any one of it. Let me like select this one, Hayden. Now, as this is my repo, I can make changes to it. But if it was your repo, I would have to first of all fork it. So first of all, if I would go to my friend's profile, that is Ritik's profile, I would go to this repo which he created, and I want to make some changes. So I would have to first of all fork it. What is forking? Forking means it creates a branch. I can explain within the diagram. So this is the main branch, which is my code. When I forked it, I pushed a button here which created another branch. So now there are two branches parallel, and once there are these branches parallel, I can make any changes of it. Like if Ritik wants me to add some features to it, so what I can do is I have the copy of his code. I can make changes to it, and then we can move on later. And after all, if possible, we can merge this. So first of all, I have to create a branch. Ritik does his work on this repo. I want to do my work also, so I would fork it. Yep. So now it has become my repo, right? and here you can also read Ford from Reds 170. So now I can make any changes I want to it. So now I would tell you how easy it is to make changes. Like this is the README file. I can go and just change. Yep. So here now I have to commit those changes. So what it does, it is actually the save button for GitHub. It helps the thing I mentioned, like it compares images to snapshots. So this commit helps us create uh, the snapshot. One second. I have to first of all write a commit message. Yep, okay. So here you can see the changes which I did, changes made by Vedar. So these are now, as you can see, I have made these changes. I have added my commits, which is the code which I wanted to change. I have done that much part. Now I have to open a pull request. Now I want Ritik to have these changes. This line should be changed in Ritik's repo also. So I would make a pull request. You can see here a pull request. So you can see now it compares the changes, comparing changes and create a pull request. I have to now leave a message. It's a very good technique that you tell Ritik that what changes you have made. So I would write, I have made changes to the read, please review whatever I have to write. So then I create a pull request. Oh, am I not audible? Anurag Pal says that I am not audible. Can anybody else
You are
confirm?
audible, Vedant. You are audible.
Okay, thanks. So there's problem with Anurag speaker. I don't have to remove it. So right. So I have made a pull request now, which is this procedure. Opening a pull request. Now Ritik and me can discuss what changes I have done. Here I have comment section. Ritik also would have comment section in his account. So we can change. We can discuss what changes we have to make. And deploy is not for us. And merge. So if Ritik thinks that my changes are good, I have done what he wanted me to do. So he would have an option to merge his repo, right? I do have an option to close pull request. So that means would be reversed. So this was a very quick demo of how things can be very easily done. So what I just did was majorly creating a pull request. If you create 5 such pull requests from October 1st to October 31st and register for Hacktoberfest, you would receive free swags and a t-shirt. This is how easy Hacktoberfest is, but it is also very much helpful in learning anything. So you have the presentation. I would send you the links. You have all the things on your hand that what changes you have to make, etc. How to create a pull request and all. Now this is we did it with the help of GitHub website. We could have done it with the help of Git. Let me show you a quick demo of how I can do it with Git. So terminal screen should be visible to you. So once I fork it, I will go to my profile so that I can check. Yep. So this is my fork. This one, right? This is what the parallel two copies of code running at the same time. So that is known as the fork. I have copied all the code from Ritik's repository, that is known as a fork. So right, so I have to now make changes to it. So this was a very minute change which we can do on the web itself, but when it comes to code we have to first of all copy it. So first of all I would copy this link. For Windows user you have to install a software named GitSCM, sorry. Yes, system. Git SCM, you have to download this and install it. It gives you something similar to what I am going to do. So I would just git clone, write this command git clone and paste. Now it is cloning, it is copying all the Rithix repositories code on my local device. So when it comes to code, you would have like Visual Code, Visual Code or Sublime or Atom. You can use any of it and like make changes and then push it. So here I'm backing done. So it is cloned. Now I can cd to this repository. Now this is Rithix code. Let me show you in Atom. So whatever code was visible to us on GitHub is now visible to in my local text editor. Easy. So if this Ritik wants me to add an import like import random and some feature, any feature if he wants me like if he wants me to add a random number like this is a demo, so I am just doing random stuff. Now I would test this and let's test this. I don't think it would work, but still uh, you get the point, right? This is random is not imported. This is not what we are supposed to do in this meetup, but this is just an example to show you that it is working. So you copy your entire code which Ritik has to make changes to it, whatever Ritik has asked us to do, and then now it's time to fork. Now you can see that this file has been colored yellow, which means that there are some changes which I have made, which I have done. So now I have to just push it. So I can again open a terminal. I could have done it in the Atom itself, any terminal would work. Set Veranda. Now this command is extremely important, that is git add. What it would do is it would add all the changes to it, right? Now I have to write a command git comment, and m stands for message. Say added random function which I want to display. Right, one file has changed. It has clearly told us one file has changed. 46 insertions, 41 deletion. This is something happens because of other codes which we have changed. So I don't know what this number actually represents in this context, but it is like changes and deletions, updation and deletions that has happened. Now this is what it is. I have committed my code. Now I want to push back to my GitHub. This is Git. That was GitHub. This is Git. I have copied code. I have made changes. I have used the command git add and added these changes in my code. I have used the command git commit. So all the changes which I had added are now committed to my repository, my copy of this code. Now I want to git push. So it would ask me for my username and password, which I certainly don't remember, but let's check. Okay, so it's working. So now you can see I have pushed my changes here. Added random. This is the last commit which I have done on this fork with the help of command line. I did it in my local machine in my text editor with the help of git. I can see that changes right here on GitHub. So this is the power of Git and GitHub working together. Now once I have made these changes, I would issue a pull request so that he can include these changes in his repository. So I just made a pull request. You can view this pull request here. So these are two commits which I want Ritik to merge in his repo. So this was a very common example using git command line. When it comes to installing git command line, there are a few things which you need to do, a few commands more then what I did, I would share the tutorial with you, so you can just like uh, and you can just take help from there. So we have done mostly the major part. Now I would like to discuss something which we are going to do in October. So what I want everybody to do is we are going to create about 3 repositories. So repositories would be uh, about 3 things. First of all, first repository would be about web development. For the people who are not familiar with machine learning or Python, they can just make pull requests regarding HTML codes. We did this last year also, where we created a music wall collaborative link where everybody was asked to add their songs and whatever music YouTube videos they liked. So when we are going to repeat these similar things, either we can build a website or we can build any web development project. So what changes I am asking for from your side would be regarding HTML or CSS changes. How would I ask you for changes? If I have a repository like this one and I want to ask you for changes, I can either text you on WhatsApp and ask you that I need a header over here. I need you to change the background color to red. I need you to add a picture of a dog. I can ask you this on WhatsApp. I can also use about technically I should have been using this issues here. So if I have to create an issue, I can open this. So you guys would have the responsibility to check these issues repeatedly and once in a while, like in a day or two. So check if there is some new issues opened. If yes, you can start work. You can tell me in the comments and tell that I want to work on this issue, and then that is how it happens. But it won't be possible in our scenario, as and we are a small group, so it's very easy to manage. So we can just use our WhatsApp group. So we would create 3 repositories. First one would be about web development. We would develop something, some website kind thing. The changes would be regarding HTML. So anybody who has HTML experience or CSS experience can help and can complete his 5 repositories required for Oktoberfest in that repo in that while making changes. Also, then next comes the machine learning repository. So both the other repositories would be of machine learning. So it can be anything, like people have suggested they want to build Bitcoin miners, Bitcoin price predictors. So there are tutorials available for it. So what the mentor has to do is create a repo, and once this repo is created, he would follow this tutorial. This tutorial, whatever tutorial is referring to, and add just a part of code, not the entire thing. He has not to make. He does not have to make an entire project. He has to add just a small part of code, and then ask for his friends to help. He would just tell his friends that I want this functionality. I want you to implement this. I want you to implement this part of the uh, tutorial he is referring to. His friends would make a pull request after that. This is how it is supposed to happen in ideal situations. There may be changes in practical cases. Second repo would also be regarding machine learning. Most probably an interesting project would be movie recommendation system. Uh, it would be an easy project first of all, and it was so that I want easy projects because I want maximum contributions. So we would have maximum contributions in this projects. Also, it would be a learning experience. So it would be great. So one more important thing is it is not actually any foundation that you contribute to only these 3 repos. You are free to contribute on any GitHub repo. It would be counted in your Oktoberfest. It just have to be from 1st October to 31st October. Any repo would work. In my time, 2 years back, when I first participated in Oktoberfest, I just changed one line of text, one line in a txt file, and it was counted as a pull request. But since last year, the rules have changed and they have some checking for repositories. So all these repos are which want people to write hello world programs or which want people to just add one line of their own name, they would be discarded in the starting only. All the contributions should be valuable, and they should provide some. They should be about serious some coding stuff, It should not be about any readme changes or etc. One of your pull requests could be of it, but not all should be regarding this. So whenever you submit a pull request, there is a 7 days checking period which Hacktoberfest has. So they check if what changes do you have you made to the code for uh, this stopping the spamming of pull request in the month of October, as many thousands and thousands of people participate in this competition since the last couple of years. So yeah, right. So we have like almost covered all I have to say. If you have any questions, you can ask, or there is not much left. I can like show you a very brief revision type kind of thing, as some people have joined just now. So what we have to do is first we have to create a branch. Branch is like the fork, right? We have to click on this button, which would create a copy for ourselves, for which a copy similar a copy of this code to our GitHub account. Once we have this fork, we have to make just changes whatever this person has asked us to do. We have to commit those changes, and we have to push those changes and make a pull request. Once you have the pull request, you can uh, do similar 5 pull requests and win a free t-shirt. So it is a very easy stuff, guys. There's nothing which is not incomprehensible. There's nothing which would cause a dilemma of any kind, or any um, barrier in you not succeeding in a Hacktoberfest. So I want maximum people to participate and maximum people to promote it. There's nothing which I am getting out of this, but there is something which you would get. It would be an initiation of your open source journey. And once you start this journey, there you cannot, uh, you won't end it, as we all are developers. So this is something which is the most, which would become an integral part of our life in a few years from now, after college or within college also. So once you open pull request, you can discuss the changes you want in this pull request. You can, no, not deploy. You can merge, ask this person to merge. One more thing, merging of pull request is when your code is actually used by the person whose repo you have worked on. If I have worked on a project for NASA, I can, if I can go on to their GitHub, fork their repo, make any absurd changes, and make a pull request. Now, NASA does not want any absurd changes done by me, so they won't merge my pull request. But uh, surely, if even though your pull request is not merged, it would be counted for Hacktoberfest. It's not like that your code should be used by that person. You just have to contribute. That's the basic situation, that you just have to contribute using this. So yep. So this was like a very quick demo, because there are just few buttons you have to click. So it was a basic demo, and now you can ask any questions you have, and like discuss any projects you want to build about web. It could be regarding web development or machine learning. So if you have any ideas, please unmute your mic and speak about, and tell all of us about those ideas. So anybody who wants to discuss about any idea. A few people who pinged me regarding the Bitcoin thing, Milind and Palak. So yeah, we can do that. We can build a Bitcoin miner. There are tutorials available which would guide us through, and it would be an easy and interesting project. So we can start repo, and if you volunteer, you guys can create a repo. So if yes, you can like raise your hand or whatever. Then say yes by unmuting yourself. That depends on you. Yeah, somebody raised, a million raised his hand. Yeah, so you're pro. You can start a repo and send us the link. We would fork it and make changes, and then uh, get back to you. So this was all. If you have any doubts, you can ask freely If you want to share something which you have been working on, which is causing problems in your life, so you can share that as well. We offer a shoulder for free to cry on. So, or if you want to leave, you can leave also. What is master branch? Okay, so master branch is the is where the project starts. So if I create a repo, it would be master branch is the main river. All the other rivers are its subsidiaries. Master branch is where is this one, we can say, like this last sky blue color line. Here is the master branch. So everybody who forks repo, every branch that is created is from this branch, this master branch. And one more thing, it is a convention that master branch is always deployable. What does that mean? Is master branch is something which does not, which contains the minimum amounts of bug. Every code that is pushed to master branch is thoroughly tested before pushing. There are no changes that happens to the master branch directly. All changes happen in either develop or debug branch, and then they are added to the master branch. So if you are working on a big project, then master branch is something which does not, which contains the least bug and is thoroughly tested. Reason why, these both things make it deployable. You can just deploy, you can create a pipeline on something known as Heroku or any other cloud you are using, and connect it to the master branch of your repo. Whenever you make changes to master branch, it would be deployed automatically. So to sum it all, master branch is the uh, main branch of this project, or where, which is the origin of all the other branches. So hope I was clear. If you have any apprehensions, tell me back. Means only author has the authority to make on the master branch, right? Yes, absolutely. So if this repo is created by Ritik, I can issue a pull request to the master branch, but I cannot merge my code in the master branch. Only Ritik has this opportunity to merge my code. If this is my fork, this is my fork. So this is something where I have the authority to make changes to the master branch. Nobody else. You can issue pull request here, no problem, millions of pull requests, but it won't be merged in until I click on the merge button. Yep. Any anybody else? Was it clear or anything? Any doubts, etc.? Okay, so I think that nobody has any questions. So let's just end this meeting. Thanks for joining. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Bye.